Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry down for David Montgomery. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
You look at this defense for the Vikings.
They're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small.
Well, you've got to be...
È drammatico, è drammatico.
On the board as they take the early lead. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Wright. Powerful running. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now, this defense for the Lions, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game, but really snap.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw McCarthy. Pass complete to Moore. And he will have the Vikings first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. The Vikings at 4-8 now on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Here's McCarthy. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. As they know, they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Douglas, the man in motion. They'll run on first down with run. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
Ay, Dios.
Target T.J. Hawkinson, but now it's third down. You talk about
Ay, Dios.
defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Rifles down, that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Martin Emerson. The 20.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Running left, Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, pass the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Out of the gun. Gone.
Es increíble, tío. Es increíble, tío. Es increíble.
Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned teams down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level. And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
A dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly
Justo ahora lo pones hombre a hombre, ¿no?
nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Sticking with the pass. Here's McCarthy.
Es que ya alucino, tío. Yo es que tengo que alucinar, macho. Es que es increíble, tío, es increíble. Es increíble.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run here with a rookie. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard.
Es que es increíble. Es increíble. Se libra en el momento justo para que no tenga...
But the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To the air with McCarthy. Oh, his early struggles continue.
Es increíble. Es increíble.
Intercepted. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here in this first quarter.
And partner, when you get off to a first quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doc. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
On play action. Now McCarthy sliding out of the pocket.
Es que, tío, es increíble, tío, es increíble. Todo el rato elige jugadas de puta madre, tío. Es alucinante, chaval. Todo el rato, tío. Es increíble.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
17-0 our score after 1. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Todo el rato, tío. Da igual lo que...
Gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing is McCarthy. And it's caught. Touchdown. George Pickens. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Qué cortito, ¿no? Es increíble, tío. Es que es increíble, tío. Es increíble. Es que es digno de ver, tío. Es digno de ver.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't play for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this case,
Tampoco lo entiendo, tío.
points when you can get them, not easily done.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Es que es increíble, tío. Es increíble. Es increíble, chaval. Es increíble, tío. Es increíble.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. First down, here's the run with Montgomery.
Es una broma, tío. Es una broma, tío. Es una...
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
That was number 7 on the
Es una puta basada, tío.
yards. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Value 3, value 3.
Montgomery will take this one in. It's a Lions touchdown.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run. Take it up.
Now the try here for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now McCarthy. Completes this one to Pickens. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 46, here's the 2nd and 9.
Let's go. Trap 60, trap 60. 18 right.
Back to throw. McCarthy. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defense?
Ay, no puedo pillar el challenge. Venga, hombre, ala, venga, ala, venga.
Knowing that guys are going to...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. McCarthy going to throw again.
Es que es increíble, tío. Es increíble. Es increíble, tío. Es increíble. Es increíble, tío. Todo le sale.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Touchdown, Vikings. George Pickens with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Extra point by Barnes for an open goal. 10, 24-14. But the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high offenses.
Es increíble, tío. Es que es increíble, tío. Es increíble, macho. Es increíble. Es increíble. Es increíble, tío.
Timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays to send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
He's into space.
Se le sale todo, tío.
David Montgomery, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. A 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. From the shotgun, McCarthy. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. Looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not.
Es una pasada, macho.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw the opposite hand and match that hand with the
Es que es una puta pasada, macho. Es una puta pasada, tío.
They don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Going for it. Here's McCarthy. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Now a play fake. and it's gone. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Goff now looks to throw.
¡Ay, Dios! ¡Ay, Dios! ¡Ay, Dios! ¡Ay, Dios!
He gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready for the third quarter. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart.
Todos los que se plantan, tío, en automático. Es increíble, chaval. Es increíble, tú. Es increíble.
But maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And it's going to be batted down. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now Montgomery running right. And able to work his way down to the 16. 63 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back? That exact same thing. Seeing the lineman coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep.
Well, he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery with his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk,
Eso no lo entiendo, tío.
fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. McCarthy operating from the gun. Here's one deep for Pickens. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
He's caught the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there, and that will force a turnover on downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now again running left with Montgomery. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Now Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta, and he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
19 tight. 19 tight. Go.
Separating from the gun. McCarthy. And for the third time tonight, he's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback really well, by understanding where the receiver is running his route, allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool. You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. Touchdown, Detroit! David Montgomery with career touchdown number 70. And the Lions take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the 2nd half. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Now, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Douglas, the man in motion. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and it'll be a turnover on downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Montgomery. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Toss left to Montgomery. gets back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they're going to be backed up to start. A big hit there on the return. Stops him dead in his tracks.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini-losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still, some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win.
And this turns into disaster. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll take it down shy of 45 at the 46.
119 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. They'll fake it on a jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On this one, they need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
It goes as a loss of 6, and now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Let's go.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
And it's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage as you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's McCarthy. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw again. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and that will force a turnover on downs. A read option is Montgomery. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And off comes to Montgomery. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Again, this is Montgomery. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter.
We go tonight.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Oh, it stays up. We are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. That's good.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. So this offense, which was humming all game, ends on a negative play. We didn't see many of those as he takes the knee, but what an explosion and a good win.
Can we call it a negative positive play?
There you go.
An oxymoron to end the ball game.
And they can watch the clock go down and celebrate the victory. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a